Hello, my name is Mycal Casey. I'm a medical resident from the Medical College of Georgia. Do patients enrolled in clinical trials really represent the AML population? So we had the opportunity to speak at the American Society of Hematology regarding clinical trials leading to drug approval within the United States for leukemias, and AML was included in this. What we did find was that there were some race disparities within these clinical trials that led to drug approval. To include, African Americans are underrepresented. In regards to ethnicity, there were less Hispanics that stated they were within clinical trials as well. And for sex, females were also underrepresented within these clinical trials. We are also able to assess from a geographical proportion of where exactly these clinical trials are. And in areas where there is increased mortality rate, there are less clinical trials available, in particular clinical trials that led to drug approval. Although we focused mainly regarding the United States, there are global locations that we are able to see. The trials are predominantly in the United States, Asia, and Europe, with very little clinical trials in Central America, South America, and Africa, and the Middle East. The other thing that we also found is that these clinical trials had underreporting, and not all of them showed demographic data. So with that, I believe, no, the patients enrolled in clinical trials do not necessarily represent the entire AML population from what we saw. In addition, there's three ways that we can kind of address this as a team: physicians, providers, nurses, care coordinators, social workers. The first thing is providing clinical trials that have the demographic data and to reduce the underreporting within these clinical trials. Next would be the geographical locations and reaching out and having clinical trials in these locations for individuals that are in need. Then the last thing would be making sure that these clinical trials match the population, having the demographics, proportions that are affected within the disease, in particular AML. So there are certain things that are being done. Actually, the American Society of Clinical Oncology just released a statement for their missions in regards to equity, diversity, inclusion action plan, and their mission to reduce the inequities within research. So I think those are a lot of the aims that individuals and our teams are trying to focus to make things more appropriate for the population. And it's tough, but hopefully we can really work to allow and reach to all individuals of all backgrounds. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak and your time today.